Harry Cavell, SPU basketball.
Harry, team's coming off a really hectic stretch of 4 home games in 8 days. Got a couple wins and capped it off with a great win over Billings. How do you feel about the homestand?
It was good. It was obviously a lot in those 8 days. It was pretty tiring, but we got through it and we got a few wins, so that's always good. And it was good to be home, kind of just catching up with schoolwork and stuff.
Injuries had depleted the squad a little bit. You played an 8-man rotation in each of those 4 games. You ended up with double figures each of the 4 games, and you averaged about 29.5 minutes a game. How did you manage to grind through that?
Yeah, just doing what the team needs, just trying to kind of get through it, and hopefully we'll start to get some bodies back and get our rest and all that. But really, right now we just need guys to step up, and that's what I tried to do.
Team is tied for 3rd place at 6-4 in the GNAC through the first half. You start the second swing this week. How do you feel about that standing?
I think that's great. I know we lost a couple close games to Western Oregon and Western Washington. So if we could get one of those both those are big games coming up. So if we could grab one of those, that would be huge. And then obviously just beat the teams I think that we're as good as or better than, and just try to finish league strong.
You mentioned this week's opponents. You're on the road. First Thursday at Simon Fraser. Team gave you a great battle here. Ended up in overtime, and then you end up winning with a, I think, 11-2 run to force overtime at the end of regulation. What do you remember of that game, and how are things to be different up
They shot the ball really well, so we're going to need to take them off the 3-point line and then just play harder than them, really. They're a really hard-playing team. They're pretty young, and they got a lot of talent, so we can't take that game lightly. We got to beat them, and then go into Bellingham and try to steal one from Western Washington.
Western's undefeated in conference play. That game will be Saturday, 3 o'clock. It'll be on Root Sports TV. Your thoughts on getting some airtime?
It'll be fun. I think that's the first TV game of the year and the first one of my collegiate career, so it'll be a lot of fun, I think. Just kind of a different energy and a different feel, but it should be good.
Let's talk a little bit about yourself. First, tell us where you're from.
Yeah, Salem, Oregon.
Great. And why did you choose to come to SPU?
My sister came here and loved it. Played volleyball here for 4 years, and she was a good player, and just enjoyed her experience here, and loved school, loved her friends, loved the Christian community, and I was kind of looking for the same, so I came falling into the
Your sister Maddie, playing volleyball, also wore the number 4. Is that what's the significance of that number?
Yeah, so my dad actually wore the number 4 in college, so I think she kind of wanted to do that, just carry on the legacy, and obviously the same with me.
You entered SPU as a walk-on, and last year you redshirted, but you were extremely busy working out. Just describe a little bit what was going on last year.
Yeah, so last year we obviously had, I think we graduated 3 or 4 seniors, so it kind of just wasn't my time to play yet, and I was fine with that, but it was fun to come in and just practice and be a part of the team without all the pressure of the competition, and I could really just focus on improving my own skills and kind of working out extra and not playing in games. So that was a really good year for me, just to grow in my game and grow as a player and as a student and just as a man in general.
And those efforts were rewarded with a scholarship coming in this year. How did you hear that news?
So I was up actually working at camp, and Coach Lee called me up into his office and let me know, and congratulated me and told me that he was really proud of the way I'd worked, and obviously that was a lot of fun for me to hear. And then I called my parents, and they were pretty excited that they weren't going to have to pay for school, so yeah.
I bet they were. Are you surprised at all? You've had a huge impact this year. You played all 17 games. Are you surprised how immediately you've been able to contribute?
A little bit. I mean, obviously, I think I have a lot of confidence in myself and try to have a lot of confidence, but it's been good. I think Coach Leap has been really just enabled me to make that impact and had a lot of trust in me, and just shown that in the way that he's played me. And you know, even if I'm struggling, he'll leave me in and kind of let me figure it out. So it really helps me to grow as a young player.
You're averaging 8.5 points a game, 4.2 rebounds. Satisfied with those numbers?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like we talked about earlier, I think just whatever I need to do to help the team win is what I'm going to try to do. And recently those numbers have been going up because Tony's out and Sam's out, and those guys that we were getting those numbers from before. So my numbers may increase as the season goes on, but really I'm just trying to help the team win.
We mentioned you had double-figure points each of the last 4 games. There's one basket, though, I'd like to talk about. I think you might know which one. Second half of the Billings game on Thursday, you finished with a dunk. Describe first the build-up to that play, and at what point do you realize you would be able to flush?
Yeah, so I saw Braden running, and Braden does a really good job pushing out in transition and then finding open guys. So I just ran hard, and then I kind of saw that I was trailing, and there wasn't really anyone that was coming up to guard me. So I caught it, and I was like, I might as well try to dunk it. And then the lane opened up, and I just flushed it. So.
Sure, you brought the crowd to their feet. You've and showed the athleticism you bring to the game here. Last thing, just tell us what you're majoring in, maybe what you've got a couple years obviously left, but what future plans do you see?
Business is my major. I actually just applied a couple days ago, so hopefully I'll get in there. But I don't know. After college, I think that's one of the reasons I chose business is just because it's so versatile, and I can kind of do a lot of different things with it. And I'm not sure what I want to do, but hopefully I'll have options with that degree.
Great. Harry, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it, and good luck at Simon Fraser and Western Washington this week.
Thank you.